Yo, Chicago, if you ain't up on the Morning Riot.
Last time this brother was here in the studio live with us, we just made up a song called Slave Sex. Slave Sex. Trey Songz is in the building.
I remember that slave sex too. They was going crazy on my Twitter about the slave sex.
I know. Folks was calling here for 3 days like, well, y'all gonna play slave sex?
They asked me, was it on the chapter 5? It didn't make the cut.
And did you have an urge to have slave sex after that when you left?
I did have a little slave sex.
Yes,
well,
sir.
that's wonderful.
They got a video.
We got the
Crazy.
Hey, and you singing it the same way.
He's like, let's record that.
You got the same rhythm as last time.
I want some.
That's the remix.
You should have like the Negro spiritual.
Slave sex.
Deep up in the shadows, we're having
Slave.
all off in the woods, we're having slave sex. Slave sex.
They're going to a banjo breakdown.
Master's coming and so am I.
So you mean this is not on chapter 5 of the album?
That didn't make it to the chapter. I'm thinking about putting on chapter 5, verse 3.
Right.
What's really
5.2.
Busting up that shifferoo.
What's really cool that I want the listeners to know is that actually Trey comes in the studio this morning and his album is sitting there at chapter 5.
Right.
And it's the first time that you've ever actually seen it.
I ever seen
It's
it.
so crazy sitting. You're like a kid with a new toy right now.
Right.
The first time you actually got a physical copy in your hand. How does it feel?
You saw I open it up. I'm reading the credits, looking at the pictures like it ain't me.
He read the liner notes like he didn't write them.
Like I don't know
who did I send shouts out to?
Yeah, let me see who I hollered at.
Tell us all about chapter 5, man. How does it feel, man, to be on your fifth album, man? You're a veteran in the business now,
crazy.
bro.
It's amazing. It's definitely amazing. I remember coming through, getting at you with the first album with the braids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just gotta make it. That was the joint.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, so to be here and to still be in the game where, you know, the game changed so much to where, you know, you here today and you might not be here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
He
I mean?
didn't even say tomorrow. He said tonight.
So, you know, to have my 5th album out and still be on the trajectory that's rising. You know what I mean?
Because a lot of people...
we was talking about our first interview together in
Dallas.
2005 in Dallas.
Yeah.
And that was my first interview in Dallas and her first interview for that gig.
For the job. Wow. We both got a job that day.
History.
Yeah. And you know, when you were talking about, like Tony was saying, you made it to the 5th album. A lot of people don't make it past their second album. They call it the sophomore album. And not only has your music changed and the success with your music, where now people look forward to your next single, you seem to have grown as a man as well.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that have changed?
I didn't know you looked at me like that, baby. I mean,
well, who wouldn't, babe? You're a very attractive young man.
All right, I'm going to move back.
What kind of things have changed with you as a person, especially with this new album?
Well, I'm very much more a CEO than I've ever been on this album. Very much more into my business, and whether it's marketing, whether it's, you know, every picture, every intricacy, every detail on this CD. That's why I was checking it so hard to make sure ain't nobody mess up. But that's changed in me as a man, and as far as my personal life is concerned, you know, I've learned gradually with each album how to deal with success, how to deal with fame, how to deal with money, because each album has been bigger than the next, and it's almost been a blessing that I didn't blow up instantaneously, because it's given me a chance to learn.
Right, as you go along.
Yeah.
Hey, and really quick, I wanted to talk. I was reading a comment from you earlier in the week that was talking about Chicago's own R. Kelly. It seems that you guys had some differences back in the day, but it seems now that you guys have both decided to bury the hatchet, and you guys have come out and gave mutual admiration for each other. So talk about my man Kels and how he inspired you, man.
I always been the biggest R. Kelly fan, you know, having been compared to him most of my career, you know, because I idolized him and I loved his music so much. You know, and when we did have our differences, people throw the beef word around like that. Like, beef, people die over beef. You know what I mean? So that is not what that was. Like, I like where you use differences. And recently he came out and said that he'd been listening to my music and that he appreciated and that he would like to collaborate with me. And that was one of the best things, you know, I could ever hear.
That would be a crazy,
you know what I'm
saying? Oh, that would be crazy.
Kels. I'm in the shop.
He's in the city right about now, man.
Couple more days.
Man, I want to ask you a question. What's your thought process when you sit down to do an album? You know what I'm saying? How do you keep it? Because you're one of the few artists that took your audience with you and still gained you know, like older women, younger women, little girls. They all love Trey Songz. We see a lot of artists, they had the little young girls, and then as they get older, they lose fans, and they can never recapture that magic. So how does Trey Songz continue to recapture that magic and keep such a wide array of women in his audience?
Well, I think, man, outside of the music being something that you know, every demographic can relate to, I think I have a unique relationship with my fans that a lot of artists don't work hard to have. Like
Absolutely.
You see when my fans call up here, they even your little cousin, you know, she remember experience we had in 2004.
Right.
And, you know, she like it's something special that I have and with my fans, and even when they call and they're going to work, and you know, old girl like her brother won the
scholarship.
Yeah, that's real, man.
It's different relationships and different bonds like that I have all around the world with fans that makes it a different type of authentic. You know, it makes them want to be a part of not only
you actually
my
touch
music,
them and you know
lasting impression.
Yo, weekdays starting at 5 a.m. only on GCI.